In this video, I'll teach you the most common grammar mistakes people make in speaking and writing, and of course, how to fix them. So let's get started. Number one is using the wrong verb tense. Like saying yesterday, I go to store, instead of saying yesterday, I went to store. This is a common mistake in English. Remember, verbs change form depending on when the action happens. Go is the present tense. And since we're talking about yesterday, you need to use the past form, which is went. A good way to remember these past tense forms is to practice common verb tenses in the past, like go, went, eat, ate, see, saw. Number two, subject-verb agreement errors. Like saying she have a dog instead of saying she has a dog. I've seen this mistake a lot of times. Remember, in English, the verb must match the subject you're using. So if you're using he, she, or it, definitely your verb needs to be in a singular form. In this case, has. But if you're using I, we, you, they, you can use have, like they have a dog. Number three, using incorrect prepositions, like saying I'm married with him, which is wrong. It's I am married to him. Remember, in English, some verbs take certain prepositions. For example, we don't say married with, we say married to. A useful trick is when you're watching a movie and listening to native English speakers, try to write down the prepositions they're using with different verbs. I'm going to also put a link down below. You can download all these dependent preposition lists and you can review and make some sentences with them. Number four, double negatives. Like saying, I don't know nothing, instead of saying, I don't know anything. Remember, in English, we normally don't use double negatives. Like we don't use don't and nothing together because they cancel each other. So if you say, I don't know nothing, it means you know something, which isn't what you want to say, right? So instead, you can use the word anything when you are saying something negative, like you are using don't, you can use anything with it. Or if you want to say nothing, you can use it in a positive sentence, like I know nothing, which means I don't know anything. So these are the same. Number five, confusing similar words, like the word borrow and lend. Like saying he borrowed me his book, which is wrong. You have to say he lent me his book. Borrow and lend are very similar, but actually opposite of one another. When you say borrow, it's like taking something. Like when I borrow something from you, I'm taking it from you. But when I'm lending something, I'm giving it to you. So lend is giving, borrow is taking. So if I give you something, I'm lending it to you. But if I'm taking something from you, I'm borrowing it from you. All right, now let's talk about writing mistakes. Number one is sentence fragments. Sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence, like saying, because I was late. Like if you're talking to someone and it's very informal, it might make sense to say, because I was late. But when you're writing, this is an incomplete sentence and it's a mistake. And when you say, because I was late, it's like, what happened? Why you were late? Like, what's the reason? You're not saying it completely. In order to fix it, you can use a clause and move the word because after your first main clause. Like saying, I was late because I missed the bus. Now here you're using the correct form of subject and verb. If you don't know what a subject is, you can check this video. I'll put the link somewhere up here. The next one is comma splices. Like saying, it's raining, I forgot my umbrella. In this case, you're separating two different sentences by just using a comma. Remember, comma is not that strong to separate two sentences. So how do we fix this? You can use a conjunction like so or because after your comma. You can say it's raining, so I forgot my umbrella. Another fix is to use semicolon instead of comma. Like you can say, it's raining, semicolon, I forgot my umbrella. Number 3, misusing apostrophes. Like saying the cats are playing instead of saying the cats are playing. Remember, we use apostrophes to show possession, something that belongs to me or you. Or we can use it to show contractions, shortened forms. Like instead of saying it is, you can make it shorter by using apostrophe, and you can say it's. In this situation, I just want to use a plural form of the word cat, which is cats. So I don't need to use apostrophe. Now the question is, what if I want to use apostrophe with a plural word? Look at this example. The teacher's book. So the word teacher is singular, and it means one teacher owns one book. However, look at this example. Look at where the apostrophe is. The apostrophe is after the word s, and that means couple of teachers, more than one teacher owns that certain book. The next one is confusing your and your. Like instead of saying you're welcome, rather than you're welcome. Pronunciation is very similar, but when you're writing it, it's totally different. This mistake is everywhere. You or you are shows possession. Like your book, my book, his book. It's possession. While you or you apostrophe re is you are. Like for example, saying you are amazing. And the correct phrase is you are welcome, and that's why we say you're welcome with apostrophe. Number 5 is common spelling mistakes, like the word definitely and receive. Remember, in English, the way we say or read words are not always the way we write them. A good trick is to use spell check or learn some common patterns. Like for example, look at the word receive. I will always comes before E, except if there is a letter C. In that case, I comes after E. Remember, if you want to fix your grammar mistakes, one of the easiest ways is to always read your writing out loud. It helps you hear the mistakes you don't see. And if you want to improve your grammar when you're watching movies or speaking to native English speakers, try to repeat after them so you can learn the grammar naturally. Now tell me, which one of these mistakes have you made before? Comment below. Now if you learned something new today, like this video and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.